Whew. Hello everybody. Good evening and welcome to Sunday night as organ music night. And for reasons that we won't go into, I opened this evening with a hymn, one of the hymns to Mary, the Maria hymns, asking for her help. I won't go into any details why, but cheers everybody. Welcome to Sunday evening, and that was one of the lovely hymns at the back of the German hymn book there. And yeah, I love playing that one. Now, this weekend, I wasn't playing the organ. I wasn't at church yesterday. I had the weekend off. And I have recovered from Friday night. You will be very pleased to hear. I'm not 100% back to normal again. I'm still a little black. Can you even see that on the camera? Probably not. I'm still a little black and blue around the edges, but not as bad as I was on Friday. And most of the aches and pains have disappeared. So much more comfortable tonight. So good evening. Welcome to Sunday night as organ music night. And we're in for a fun evening. We're back in Düren tonight with its crazy chamade pipes. Those are big horizontal trumpets that sit atop the organ and deafen people in the church. And they are deafening in the real church. How do I know? I'll tell you some other time. Exciting times. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have some interesting hymns this evening, and we're going to have some interesting pieces of music this evening. We're going to feature several composers this evening, one of whom is well, a young Austrian chap, but let's leave it at that. More on that later. Let me show you the softer sounds that this organ is capable of in a rather beautiful hymn. This is the German version of "The Lord's My Shepherd." In other words, the 23rd Psalm. Ha! I have visitors, ladies and gentlemen. That was the German version of The Lord's My Shepherd. A rather beautiful tune, and given a sort of a very light French improvisation touch there. Very light, but nonetheless. Hello, hi. We've been joined by the Gartshore girls, Vanessa and Junior. And is the little one going to say something tonight? You going to say something tonight?
Mama.
Mama. You're going to say mama? What about dada? You're going to say dada? Or are we going to Pupska? She didn't do this on Friday night. She might do it tonight. And we're going to get a little noise? Okay, Hände klatschen. Hände klatschen? There you are. There's a little baby clapping her hands. No more? We're not getting any more. We're not getting any more. There she is. We're not getting any more than that tonight. So there we are, a little baby doing her thing in the background. Hello, everybody. Right, what a lovely piece of music. I hope you will agree. I rather like that. I enjoy playing that one as well. Right, let me press some buttons here that need to be pressed. Why is this not working? There it is. It's working. I'm getting messages, you see, so I better do all of this now. Perfect. There we are. We have it. Thank you very much, folks. You know what to do. Hello, I hate stairs. Who said I hate stairs? I hate stairs. Welcome from Sweden. Is this because I fell down the stairs the other day? Is that why someone's calling themselves I hate stairs? Actually, let's have a look and see who's here this evening. Let's go and have a look. Right, where shall we start? Let's go back to the beginning as far as I can go back. Urza is here. Hi, Urza. Urza is here. Vanessa, do you want to say hi, Urza?
Hi, Urza is immer da.
Urza is immer da. Ah, thank you. Vanessa put on the air conditioning. Ah, that's nice. Alexander Wunderlich is there. Hello, Alexander Wunderlich. Rasbaz is here. Hello to you too. Julian GC is here. Oof, oof, oof. Hello. Gerald Long is here. Cam Platz is here, which means Christian is in the background as well. Hello to the Platz gang. František is here. Hello, I'm waiting for a video from you. František is here, that's splendid. Thesaurus Rex is here, one of those wonderful names. The Blue-Eyed Cat is here. Michael Miller is here. Hi there. Jeffrey Ford is here from Edgware. Hello. Looks like Duran, he says. And you're... How did you know from that screen? But you're quite right. Yeah, well done. You can see that far away? Gosh, that's good. Good eyesight. Xing Shang Chong is here. Good evening to you, or should I say bonsoir, mon ami? I'm not sure what I should say tonight. R. Sexton is here. Good evening to you. Jez is here. Hi there. Jim. Hello, Jim. Max is here as well. Casey is here as well. The Blue-Eyed Cat. Did I say Blue-Eyed Cat already? I can't remember. Wolfgang is here. Hi, Wolfgang. Lots of lovely people here tonight. Adrian is here. Good evening to Adrian. Adrian says, hi, Vanessa. Vanessa's not listening. She's playing with the little one in the background. That's fine. Anonymous is here. Anonym, as it is in German. Hello, welcome. Alex is also here. Alex Michael. Hello. Splendid, splendid. Oh, my voice is going. I need to drink. My eyes. Robert Varner is here. Opus 3 is here. Splendid. Wonderful. Do the Close Encounters notes, please, says Alex Michael. Sorry, well, that's easy enough. Shall I do them on quiet or shall I do them on loud? Let's do them on bloody loud. Let's do them on really bloody loud. There you are. Wolfgang König is here. Good evening to you. Monica is here from Ohio. Hello. Stefan B is here as well. Stefan B is here. I haven't seen Stefan B for a long time. Hello, Stefan B. Welcome back. Samantha is here. Hi, Samantha. Gerald Long. We said Gerald Long already, didn't we, back at the beginning. Mike King is here. Hello, Mike King. Yellowbird is here. Hello. CameraTim.com. Hi, Tim. Per is also here. Oh, wonderful. Everyone's here tonight. Splendid. Sprachlos is here. We know who Sprachlos is. Good evening to you. I think Sprachlos has now changed his name again, but never mind. We shall get back to that in a moment. Am I catching up on everybody now? I hope I am. It's going to spring. It's going to jump in a minute, and I'm not going to know where we were. Look looking for new names in the chat. New names in the chat. Gregory Allen, good evening. There we are. That's a little something for Gregory. And using the top note on the keyboard. Don't often see that. Yes, that's quite right, because not all the organs I have here actually have that. I'll come back to that in a moment. Good, well spotted. I hate stairs. Hey, hello from Sweden. Hello. We spotted you already. Brooks is here from sunny Utah. Good. Hold on. It sprang. So there we are. I just lost it. Where's Brooks gone again? Here's Brooks. There we are. There we are. Brooks. Our sexton we've already got. I hate stairs is still here as a Dalek. You're a Dalek. Oh, I see. That would explain it. Stephen Gerritz is here. Hello, Steve. Joshua McCready is here. Sent request. Check emails. Yes, sir. Okay. Sent request. Send cash. Okay. Tim Lars Ditke is also here. Hello. Video is in your email, says František. Right, I shall check that. I should have checked my email. Steffi is here. Hello, Steffi. Traditionen und Heimat is here. That sounds quite interesting. Hello. Kann man sich ein Lied wünschen? Yes, gang@gartshore.de. Someone put it in the chit chat there so you know where to go. Ian Walker is here. Hi, Ian Walker. Ah, there it is. The Nightbot just did it. The Nightbot did it for you. There we are. Casey Latz is here. Almost summer. Haha, there's some of that coming up shortly. Splendid. Right, everyone's here. Let's go and double check over here what I'm missing. Am I missing anything? Oh, tickets have been sold, ladies and gentlemen. Who's this? Stefan. Thank you to our friend Stefan. Who's this? Thank you to our friend Gerald. Thank you, Gerald. And, oh, hold on, what's that? There's another one there somewhere. It's hiding. Jerry! One from Jerry as well. Thank you very much. There we go. 3 tickets to get the evening going. Why can't I read my emails? Because my email program isn't even open. That may have something to do with that. Request for tonight, Joshua. Let's have a look at this. What's this then? What on earth is this? I don't know what it is, but it looks interesting. We might have a look at that. All right. What's this? Yellow Bird has done something as well. Right. You know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and videos. Ooh, exciting. Exciting, exciting. Right. Back to the music. Back to the music. Oh, look what I have hidden under my German book. It's the Brown Book of Magnificence. Now, we've had a couple of these recently. And tonight we're going to choose something a little more gentle. A little more gentle. It's number 114. And it's all about God's love and things like that. So there you are. It's all that kind of stuff. Very nice indeed. It's rather nice, but it's a rather gentle, beautiful melody, and I think we can get away with some gentle sounds like this. rather cute little tune, isn't it? What do you think of that? A rather cute one indeed. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, Gregory, rather cleverly spotted. Let me just quickly go here. Click. Oh, damn it. I was wrong. Oh well, we all make mistakes. Yes. Now, in Europe, we don't have things like standards. Yes, there are things like the ISO, the German ISO, the DIN standards, all of those wonderful things, but they don't apply to organ building. And organ builders can do what they want. Now, over in America, and to a certain extent also in the United Kingdom, and possibly even other countries, they have sort of very standardized things. For example, a manual of keys will have 61 notes. What the hell does that mean? I'm not going to count them. Well, it means it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 octaves, 5 Cs, if you will, 6 Cs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Cs, but 5 octaves. So to the bottom, that's 1 octave, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? This organ here in Düren, however, only goes from bottom C. You can't see this moving here, but it goes from here. And that's the highest note, G. So those notes don't exist on the real organ, but through the magic of digital, they've been added here. And also the pedals only go up to, do I have my pedal camera today? Yes, I do, there it is. The pedals only go up to F, like my pedal board. This is a flat European style pedal board, and it only goes up to F. Yeah? But of course, if you have a 32 note pedal board, which thing goes up to, which would go up to G, top G there, then you would have those extra notes, and they have been digitally added should you have one of those things. So yes, so there you are. So now, I hear you say, but surely organ builders standardized the things. Well, that's not true either. Let's take Cavalier Coll, the wonderful French romantic organ builder, as an example. Let's see, some of his famous organs, Rouen, Nancy, I'm trying to think of another one. They only go up to F. They only go up to top F. So you could play a Vido staccato on them. You could play Vido staccato on them, but you couldn't play Vian's first on them. How's it go? Because it finishes on an F sharp. You couldn't play Vidor's sixth on them because it finishes on a G. Notre Dame, the wonderful, amazing 5-manual, million stop organ in Notre Dame, it only goes to G. Saint-Sulpice goes to A. Now, all of those organs have been done over by Cavalier Coll, and that's 3 upper notes already. So, what? We don't have standards of these things over here. So there you are. There's an interesting point. Thank you for bringing it up, Gregory. I don't know if that's what you wanted, but Saint-Sulpice and Rouen go to G. Are you sure Rouen goes to G? I know Saint-Sulpice goes to A. Saint-Sulpice goes to A. Notre Dame goes to G. Rouen. I thought Rouen was only F. I know Nancy is only F. I know that. And Saint-Denis, I think the original, the first Cavalier Coll, I think that's only F as well. Anyway, doesn't matter. They all go to different places, and that's the weird thing about it. Does that make sense? Not really. Not really. Not really. Not really. Right, anyway, there's a view of the console. I don't want that because I don't know where the stops are, so I use this one here. Fun. Now, this organ is not just for playing classical and churchy music. We can also play jazzy music, and it's got some great sounds for playing jazz on it. And even better ones. And then some really pretty snappy stuff as well. And then, where's my really snappy stuff? Here. It's brilliant. We can do all sorts of stuff on it. Let's play a jazzy tune. And let's go to my musical collection here. Come on, hop, hop, hop. There we are. Let's go to my musical collection. Oh, what's that? You're not supposed to see that. Die, 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 die. That's going to be for someone else later this evening. Let's have, oh, not that. Let's have that. That's a really good one. Woof. Cole Porter, Argentinian playboy and general naughty boy. Wrote some wonderful music, and this one is a particularly good one and perfect for this kind of organ with its snarly. Oh, I like this. This could be good. Yeah. Cole Porter, My Heart Belongs to Daddy. For all you gold diggers out there. Here we go. Ooh, my heart belongs to Daddy in a nice swingy style. Yeah, cool, eh? I like that. I like that a lot. It's great fun playing this kind of music on these kinds of organs. This organ was built by it's built in a French style. It's installed in a German church up not that far from Cologne. It's not that far from here. It's about an hour and 20 minutes from here. Anyway, but it's by a Swiss company. And that I love, but this I love even more. Combine them. And then add, well, there's this, which has got a nice sort of a gentle snappy sound. And then you add this trumpet, which gives it a lovely snap. Then you add this trumpet, which is so fat, lovely, big and fat. Then we add all the bright work. Then, of course, we add the big guns. Which is wonderful. Something in my eye. Oh, my finger. Yes, the old Tommy Cooper joke. Oh no, it was a hair. There you are. Splendid. Oh, wonderful. Right, I enjoyed that. That was fun. Right, let's calm things down again. Let's have a quick look and make sure. Any new people since we last spotted? Lovely. Hans Poley is here. Hello. Does Bundle of Joy's heart belong to Daddy? I should hope so. Mine belongs to her anyway, so that's good. Who else be here? Any new folks? Gregory Allen deleted. Gregory deleted. Why was Gregory's thing deleted? I wonder what he said. Adrian Morris. There were no new people here since we last spotted them. Oh, a ticket or two has arrived. Who dis? David S. Thank you very much, David S. Who dis? Michael H. Thank you, Michael H. That's a new name. Thank you, Michael. That's very kind indeed. R. Sexton. Thank you very much as well. Thank you very much indeed. Who dis? Joe. What? Joe's written in a language. I've no idea what language that is, Joe, but thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much. Very kind. Thank you, Joe. And who's this? Monica as well. Thank you. Wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, Jez says it's a great sound. Yeah, that jazzy sound with all those wonderful things. It's great. Especially, I think my favorite one is when we've got this. And then, and I add the sort of the snappiness. Hold on, get rid of that. You got that. You've got that lovely buzziness, and then you've got this snarliness, and we've got buzzy and snarly together. Yeah, and then you build and build and build and build, and then you have the huge chamade things which just go and rip you apart. I love it. Yes, 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 yes. Jeff, anybody, can you help me please to delete the ad panel above the chat panel? I don't know. I don't know what ad is above the chat. I don't know. I don't have ads anymore. I gave up. I was so fed up of ads. What's that? Next week. Fine. Thank you. Next week. What is it? Steffi, if you can send me that as a PDF, I'd be very, very happy. Thank you. What's this? The Platts Gang. The Platts Gang are doing buy me a coffee things as well. Oh, splendid. Right, well, let's play a piece of music, and then I have news. I have some very exciting news. Let's play an English hymn from the Big Green. In fact, no, let's not play an English hymn yet. Let's get the other Big Green book. Let's get the checkbook. Yes, this is... What did I do there? Well, I just started recording audio. I don't want to record audio. Let's cancel that. Are you sure? Cancel. Right. I've set some buttons up here to do stuff. And it's all very clever. Now, I recently got an email. František, are you here? Yeah, what number did you send me recently? It was 800 and something. Send me the number again right now in the chat. So that I don't have to go digging through your emails. What number was it? It was 800 and something. You've got 10 seconds. František is going, ooh. František gave me this book, this enormous big green book of goodness. It's full of wonderful stuff. František, what number was it? Come on, you said 800 and something. Come on. Fido. Come on. You can't remember. You can't remember. He's disappeared. František's running around. Not 860. It doesn't go to 863. 807. Thank you. There we go. La da dee da, ya da dee da, ya da dee da, ya da dum. Okay, right. What is this? Let's have a look. This is an enormous. This is great. This is a book for old people. Is it? Did you deliberately send me this size of book because it's for people whose eyes aren't what they used to be? My eyes are old and bent. Is it that kind of thing? Is that why you sent me this one? Or are they all this size? The Czech church obviously has too much money to spend. Oh, that's my jazzy. I was going to say that's not going to get me very far. Those are my jazzy registrations. What does that mean, registrations? Somebody asked me this recently. I will explain that in just a second. Let me first of all have a perusal of this hymn. Oh, I like that. I know where that's going. La 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 la. La 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 la. Lots of scales. La 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 la. All right, this could be a waltz, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm guessing the rhythm will be slightly interesting, as it usually is in these hymns. This is a hymn. František, tell us about this hymn. What's it all about? No, they're all this big, he says. That's what they all say. What's this hymn all about? It's hymn. It's another Mary hymn, isn't it? But tell me all about it. What's it all about? microphone was on during all of that. I hope you don't mind. Get me breathing in the background heavily. Ah, that's better. Thank you, Stevie. Right, okay. Yes, there we go. Oh, that was fun. What a wonderful piece. Right, the song is about us, people calling to the Virgin Mary, in whom we have a heavenly mother. The last phrase is a cry that she hears and heeds us, which is why the song goes up to E3. Well, you mean E flat 3, obviously, but never mind. Okay. Something that brings great joy to tenors like you. Or does the tenor line go even higher? I don't know. What's the bit you're meaning? I think the bit you mean is, where is it? I've lost it. That's the bit you mean, isn't it? Yeah, is that the highest note? It is, isn't it? It goes that high earlier, but I suppose it doesn't go, it has a different function. Harmonic function. That sounds like something rather naughty in your bowels, but yes. Anyway, wonderful. What a wonderful piece of music. Thank you very much indeed. Right, apparently some people are sending requests, but I'm not getting any extra mails, so I don't know who you be. Right, let me quickly send that over to my magnificent device here, and then let me get off. And then let me send this over to my magnificent device as well. Click, bing, and we shall see what happens. Right, news time, NEWS news. The other day I announced to you all that I was branching out into the world of this, creating my own sample sets, which is something I've wanted to do for a very long time. Click, I think this should work. Does this work? Does this work? I think it does. Come on, taking a while to think about it. Was that my command? Yes, it was. There you are. I've been doing a lot of homework. Now, this is completely separate to YouTube, all right? Absolutely 100% completely separate. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, everyone will be benefiting if you're into this kind of thing. And some of my fellow YouTube organists will hopefully be interested in my product and maybe even get a freebie. We don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. Some people definitely will. Anyway, but yes, this is something I've wanted to do for years and years and years. And I have been doing my homework for a long time. And this year, I actually wanted to get it done at least, well, actually 2 years ago. During Corona is when I decided, because I started using Hauptwerk because of all the restrictions that we had during the COVID pandemic. Lots of strange things were going on in the world, and I decided, well, wouldn't it be great if I started doing this as well? Now, I have a background in studio, recording, all that kind of stuff, audio, digital audio even. I have a background in all of those things as well. I studied all of these things, believe it or not. And, for me to go to an instrument armed with the right microphones in the right positions and to record samples of the instrument is no work whatsoever. It's time consuming, but it's not difficult. So I kept sort of saying to myself, well, why don't I do that? Why don't I create my own things? And then, of course, things happened. I became a father. And so on and so on. So all of those things got sort of put off for a little while, but now it's time to start in earnest. But I've been doing my homework for months on this now. And I've already got a list of organs to be sampled. This is so exciting. Now, on this list, on Friday, I had 5 definite organs that could be sampled. A 6th one is hopeful, but there's a lot of red tape involved. It's an organ in a foreign country, and there's a huge amount of red tape tied up with these things. Huge amount of red tape. But anyway, that's for the future, but I'm hopeful that will go ahead thanks to my connections. Organ diplomacy. Wonderful. So I'm hoping that's going to go ahead. But the other 5 definitely will go ahead. And here's the great thing. Since Friday night, I've had several emails from other people saying, ooh, and I'm tempted to take 3 of them up on it. So that takes me up now to a possible 9 instruments to be sampled. And some of them are rather interesting. Not necessarily big, but some of them are interesting. They are historically very interesting. One in particular is historically very important, which is rather interesting, and so on and so on and so on. So this is definitely taking shape now. Warning: creating a sample set is not something that can happen overnight. Not even if you have 1 million people helping you to do it. It takes ages to do it. All of the samples you record, you take one note of the trumpet, a very short sample, a slightly longer sample, and then a considerably longer sample, let's say up to 7 or 8 or even 9 or 10 seconds, and that will become a big loop at some point, and so on and so on and so on. All very exciting. And an organ of this size, well, you're not just taking those 3 samples of that note. You've probably got microphones close to the organ, some microphones a bit further back, microphones miles away, whatever, yeah? So you might have, for one note, for one pipe, you might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you might have 6 different recordings of that short click, and then 6 different recordings of the medium one, and 6 different recordings of the really long one. Each of those recordings then has to be manipulated. It has to be denoised. You have to get rid of all the background noise, the blower noise, the mechanicals of the organ, people walking past the church, people driving Lamborghinis past the church, whatever happens. These things happen when you start doing recordings. Yeah? Never ever, if you're ever doing a recording in a church, never put a notice on the door of the church saying quiet recording in progress, because people will call the fire brigade, they will call the local marching band, they will call all local farmers, whatever, anything that makes noise will then be sent out to drive around the church, march around the church, and really make noise while you're doing your recording. Don't ever do that. Ask me how I know. Anyway, and of course all of this work takes months, and then once you've done that, then you go into Hauptwerk, and it gets even more difficult then. Then you basically have to program Hauptwerk for your new organ. Now, like I say, I've been doing my homework. Since today, early this morning, I received the official Hauptwerk developer access, which means I am now officially a sample set creator for Hauptwerk. Ha 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 ha, that's really exciting. So all of that sort of stuff, all the legal stuff, the confidentiality stuff, all of that is now all in place, and I am officially armed and equipped, well, at least here in the software side of things, to go and create sample sets. So things are taking shape very, very significantly. Now, if you're interested in helping us out, because this is going to be a full-time job, which means some of my other things, not YouTube, but some of my other things will have to take a bit of a back seat. So it's going to be a full-time endeavor. So for that reason, we started up a crowdfunding campaign. Go and check out the Start Next site. It's rather exciting. And and I am offering various thank yous to people, including, of course, sample sets themselves. Now, I'm also, one of the things I'm offering is a lifetime supply of sample sets. So in other words, every sample set I ever create from this moment on, you will get that. Now, I'm limiting that to a maximum of a certain number. Vanessa took care of all of that. A certain number of people. Obviously, if everybody went for the lifetime supply of organs, I wouldn't be making any money in the future. Nice idea now, but not in the future. So that's limited. So yeah, but fun nonetheless. And then for those who aren't interested in sample sets, there are other thank yous, including behind the scenes looks at what's going on. I can't go into too much detail on the Hauptwerk side of things for simple reasons. It's confidential, and it has to remain confidential. That's a very important factor. That's something we all have to respect, and it's actually a good thing. But the rest of it, the recording process, the denoising process, all of that's basic knowledge. I will share some of that with you. Obviously, some of it will be my secrets. Don't want the competition finding out how we're doing things, and so on and so on and so on. So yes, but all of those things are in there. And like I said, this is all a little separate endeavor and very exciting indeed. The first sample set should be available by the end of the year. Yes, that's how long it takes. But after that, subsequent sample sets will be quicker. The learning process starts now, actually started today. I read through a 120-page document today on the creations of sample sets by Hauptwerk themselves. Wonderful document, very fascinating indeed. I will be reading it many, many times. I'll be memorizing it, in fact. Very important. And like I say, this process will get easier with time. Well, yes, get easier with time. Maybe not quicker, but definitely easier. Right, on with the show. We've had a request, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if it's already made its way over here to the pad of I. Come on, open up. There you are, it's opened. There's my music app, and it's synchronizing. So let's see what it's synchronizing with. It's synchronizing with this. Right, Our friend, who said this? Joshua, I think, sent this over. Was it Josh that sent this one over? What's wrong with my voice tonight? It may have been Joshua. Yes. Joshua McCready. Lovely. All right, an exciting email there from our friend. Okay, so this was Joshua. Joshua. Fit the Battle of Jericho. Okay. Yep, fine. Splendid. Don't forget, tips in the tip jar, and we're off. Right, back to the music. This is a march. It's called, what the hell is it called? I'm guessing it's called, I get it. It's called the National Emblem March by someone called Edwin Bagley, who lived between 1857 and 1922. The choice of the registers can vary according to the organist's sensitivity and, wait for it, good taste. Well, that's this piece of music buggered then, because I have neither sensitivity nor good taste. I don't know what this is, but it looks kind of cool. Sight reading, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua, sight reading is expensive, you know. Right, what's this going to be? Let's get rid of that stop for now. And let's have a look. Okay, it's a march. And hopefully, let's just quickly page through it to make sure it's an E flat, which is relatively easy to read. Let's have a look. What happens here? A trio, a loud trio. Oh my God, the melody's in the bass. In the pedals. I need to switch on my ped cam for that. Oh, apologies for the overhead camera. For some reason, once again, it's not working. Go figure. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's annoying. Is that it? Right, that's it. So we have a few page turns. Is my winky blinky switched on? No, it's not, but now it is. Perfect. Right. It's great. By having a stroke at the organ, I can turn pages. If I go, like that, it turns pages for me. And if I have a stroke in the other direction, it goes in that direction. Isn't that clever? That's modern technology for you. Right. Edwin Eugene Bagley. All right, that was sight reading, which is why it was full of awful fluffs and mistakes and things. But yeah, I quite like that. I recognise that from somewhere. I recognise it from somewhere. I like the choice of registers can vary according to organist sensitivity and good taste. Well, like I say, I have neither, so I think that was pretty distasteful. Yeah, that's definitely a keepy. Thank you, Joshua. That's definitely a keeper. Keeper. We have pieces of music that we keep because I want to practice them, and then we have other pieces of music that I think are so disgracefully bad one would never want to keep them. Now, before we go to wonderful, beautiful, perfectly composed music of old, let's have something rather... I have no idea what this is. It's called Upstairs and Down. But it's not that television show from the 1970s from the United Kingdom talking about posh folks and their servants. It's not that. Right, talk of baby vampires. What? Hey, I'm reading the text here. Talk of baby vampires, well, here's one that I know. Her beau lived right below in a 2-flight bungalow. Can't have a 2-flight bungalow, that's not possible. Anyway, she knew the way to vamp him. This baby wasn't slow. He followed her like Mary's lamb wherever she would go. Nice rhyme. Upstairs and down, upstairs and down. He kept pleading for a kiss like a silly clown. Clown, up and down, got it. The reason why they married is whispered all around. He tripped and fell while running after her upstairs and down. Yellowbird, is this because I fell down the stairs the other day? I wasn't chasing Vanessa. I just fell down because I was balancing things in my arms. Right, there's a second verse. Life is like a seesaw. It's full of ups and downs. One day misfortune frowns, and then good luck makes her rounds. This vamp made life a study. She knew her P's and Q's. While wearing out his lonely heart, she wore out all his shoes. Why? Upstairs and down, upstairs and down. This could be cute. I quite like this. Right, thank you. This was a bizarre request from our friend Yellowbird. He loves all this kind of tat. There's no other word for it, but in the nicest possible way, this is tat. Welcome to the Gartshore gang, where every Friday and Sunday night we perform a cornucopia of musical crap. It's wonderful. No, this is wonderful stuff. I love it. I really do. This is what we do that nobody else does. This is great. I love it. When you hear what's coming next, you'll understand what I mean. All right, upstairs and down. upstairs and down. Thank you, Yellowbird. There you are. Thank you very much indeed. Ta-ra! What a fun piece of music. I love that kind of stuff. Upstairs and down, upstairs and down. I wanted to put in a... Would that fit? Because it's like a silly clown. Hold on, would that fit? Let's see if we can get that to fit. Would you recognize that? You might recognize that at that point if we put that in. Is that a keepy? Could be. We shall see. Sometimes I like fun things like that. Thank you. Yes, Mike King says that was fun. And you're right, it was. It was fun. Thank you very much for a piece of fun. Now then. This is something very different. Mozart. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. According to a film back in the 80s called Amadeus, a certain piece of music that the young Wolfgang, the young Wolfie, a certain piece of music that he wrote killed him. The stress of this music killed him. Now, whether that's true or whether it was just Hollywood being fanciful, we don't necessarily know. What actually killed him was his lifestyle. He was a naughty boy, as pretty much everybody was in those days. Only 2 pages, right? That we should be able to read this then. Apparently, if you believe the film, the piece of music that sort of killed him, that turned him into a nervous wreck, was his Requiem, Mozart's Requiem, which allegedly he ended up writing for himself. Now, of course, historically, that's not actually true. He hardly wrote any of the Requiem. Most of it was finished by a guy called Süssmayr, who was, well, someone much younger than Mozart, and, it kind of lost its Mozart thing. But part of the Requiem that we do have that was definitely from Mozart is the opening of the movement Lacrimosa. Lacrimosa, that's got something to do with tears. So this is a wonderful arrangement, again, by friends of the channel, the Scott brothers. Well, actually, it's by Jonathan Scott. Jonathan wrote this arrangement a while back. And this was a request by our wonderful friend Joe. So thank you, Joe, for your wonderful request. Joe loves requesting things by the Scott brothers. Joe also requested the New World Symphony the other day, the Adagio they're from. Was it the Adagio? Well, yes, you know what I mean, the slow movement. We played that the other night for Joe's birthday. But this is the Lacrimosa. Now let's have a look. We need a crescendo here. So I think we'll start round about here, something rather gentle, maybe even more gentle. Where does that become loud? About 7. I think that's good, because we need it to be very loud at some point. Not overly desperately loud, but it needs to be nice, and it needs to become very quiet again. Okay. The Lacrimosa. Again, one of those pieces of music that's easier to conduct than it is to play. With one of my student choirs back in my Edinburgh days, we did the Mozart's Requiem. We took it on tour to various churches around the place. We took it to the Church of the Holy Rood in Stirling, which at the time, I think it still does actually, at the time housed Scotland's largest church organ. And I had one of the organists from Edinburgh Cathedral who came and accompanied. And he didn't play from an organ score, he played from the orchestral score. Very, very good player. Peter Backhouse was his name. And Peter accompanied, and my choir sang. And it was beautiful. All the soloists came from, they were all choir members. It was a beautiful concert, I remember that. We performed it in a church, I can't remember which church in Edinburgh we performed it in either. Again, rather beautiful, but I can't remember which church it was. But the concert we did in Stirling, beautiful setting, beautiful acoustic, beautiful organ. It was rather lovely. Okay, here we go. For Joe, Lacrimosa. Kind of works. I need to, ideally on a different organ where the keyboards are in a different position, then I could do exactly what Jonathan was suggesting, with lots of thumbs around or different manuals pushing out the melody. But that's definitely one to practice as well, isn't it? That's lovely. I like that. Yes. We see we should be doing things like this. Yeah? Where the melody is here on the big keyboard. Yeah? And this kind of stuff, and then there's, here it is, there's more of it here. How on earth are you supposed to do that there? That's a tough one to stretch. Can anyone actually do that? I'm not sure anyone can stretch that with my tiny thumbs. There you are, that's the idea. Oh, sorry, no, it's that. That kind of stuff. Difficult to do, needs practicing. I played a piece of music recently where you have to do that. There's this kind of stuff, all this kind of stuff. Cam knows what I'm talking about. Fun. I like that. So thank you for suggesting that, Joe. Nice suggestion. A very sobering piece indeed. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. Right, anyone else joined the team tonight? I see Nancy has joined us. Good evening, Nancy. Anyone else joined us? Julian Cleek has joined us. Hello, Julian Cleek. Robert Varner is still with us. Who else is around? Any new names since I last looked? Got to keep an eye on the gang. Gregory Allen, why are some harmonics, for example, parallel fifths, allowable in some contests but not in others? They still grate me. Well, they grate you because you've been taught that they grate you. It's quite simple. The wonderful thing is nobody really notices. Julian, I wish you a nice evening. See you soon. Oh, bye, Julian. That's a shame that you're leaving. That's another Julian. Hans Poley is still deleting his messages. Hello, Hans Poley. Or are they being deleted? Who knows? Stephen Gerrits is still here. I love those two melodies in one hand piece. Hey, what? In one hand? I think I know what you mean. Yes, it's good fun. It's difficult to do. Right. Who was asking this? Who was asking? Gregory, wasn't it? Was it Gregory Allen that was asking? Yes. Parallel fifths. What the hell's a parallel fifth? Well, here's the thing. Do you even notice parallel fifths? If I play this... That's the opening of, what's his name? Percy Whitlock's Sonata in E flat for organ. Did you even notice the parallel fifth in there? I probably don't think you did. Did you notice it there? Do you notice this one? That's the thing. I didn't play one, ever, in any of that. The thing is, parallel fifths are things like when you're writing harmonic exercises and you've got a bass part going ta 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 ti. Oh, let's say, no, that's too complicated. Let's say you have a bass part going ta 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 ti. Okay? And your tenor at the same time goes... Okay? That's fine. They're both moving in the same direction. Yeah? Both moving upwards, but there's no parallel fifth movement there. If there was going to be a parallel fifth, it would be this. Yeah? But if everything going on around that you didn't actually notice what was going on. Do you actually notice that? Do you really notice that? By hearing it, if you see it written, your harmony professors would go in there and mark everything with a red pen and tell you you should have been drowned as a child and you should not be allowed into the musical fray at all, and that kind of thing. Yeah, it's all academic. It's all academic. Parallel fifths appear everywhere. Even J.S. Bach has parallel fifths in his music. Of course he does. They're unavoidable at certain times. Of course everyone there says, but Bach did it for a special reason. Oh, rubbish, he just did it because everybody did it. It's good practice not to have a parallel fifth for academic purposes, but in the everyday world, ignore it. Ignore it, ignore it, ignore it. Yes, it's purely an academic exercise. There is a kind of historic background to it all, but believe me, it has nothing to do with anything other than academics. Right, let's have, oh, damn it, I was right. Damn it, that was the right piece of music. It's not often I get exactly the right page I'm looking for. Sometimes it works. There it is. A request, believe it or not, for, let's switch back to my jazzy numbers. We're going to finish off this evening's concert. Last quarter of an hour will be sort of jazzy tunes, as always. From the sublime to the ridiculous, and, well, actually vice versa. From the sublime to the ridiculous. This piece of music, this was requested by, oh, damn it. Who requested this? I can't remember, and I don't think I'll be able to find the email. This was a while back. Was it? No, it wasn't Andrew. It wasn't. Who was it? Tell us who you were. You will remember who you were when I play it. It's a hilariously fun piece of music, and I actually tried to get the Fats Waller version of it. I'm working on it. I'm working on a transcription of the Fats Waller version of it, because it's good fun, and I want to be able to teach. People to play the right Fats Waller style. Not everybody gets the everyone thinks it's, and it's not. It's, you can't really hear it on the organ. I'll do it properly on the piano one day, and I'll let you know what it is. Right, this is a wonderful piece of music from 1920, 21, 20. Who wrote it? Conrad, Robinson, and Davis, I think. Conrad, Robinson, and Davis. It seems to ring a bell. Margie. I quite like that kind of stuff. I quite like that stuff. Now, the other day we did a tune called Memphis in June, because it is June, and a lot of people liked it and wrote to me and said, ooh, we want more of that. What about the Memphis Blues? W.C. Handy, 1910, 11, 12, one of W.C. Handy's first pieces of music. Not the St. Louis Blues like everybody else thought it was. It was, in fact, the Memphis Blues. Check this out. Oh, sorry. The Memphis Blues. Yes. The Memphis Blues. Ticket sales have stopped, ladies and gentlemen. Monica was the last person this evening to buy a ticket. A long time ago. Over an hour ago. For the last hour, ladies and gentlemen, not a single ticket has been sold. Tut, tut, I say. Unless, of course, you've all been busy over on our Start Next project, which is great. But don't forget, that's separate. I have to say that. Nope, not a sausage over there either. Well, that's fine. Don't worry. There will be plenty of advertising coming up. Please help, ladies and gentlemen. These things are important. Without your help, none of this will be able to continue. It's as simple as that. Let's finish off this evening's with, no, we played that a few weeks ago, so we won't do that. Let's finish off this evening's with another one from, this is not, what's his name? W.C. Handy. It's Hoagy Carmichael again, but it's a very early Hoagy Carmichael one, before he got into his sort of sentimental season. Memphis in June, that was Hoagy Carmichael. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans? All sentimental kind of stuff. But back in the 20s, he was writing real hot jazz music. And this is one of those ones that he came up with. It's great. If you're fans of the old British trad jazz revival, I hate the term trad jazz. We should call it classic jazz. It's much better. The classic jazz revival of the 50s and 60s in the United Kingdom, then this one was made famous by Kenny Ball and his jazz men. The Riverboat Shuffle. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. the Riverboat Shuffle. Finishing off this evening's concerto. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very... Oh, look. See, Nancy. Thanks for getting the ball rolling again, Nancy. And also to Stephen. Stephen, thank you very much. I think that's Stephen's first. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was Sunday night is Organ Music Night. What a weekend it has been. Feeling much better tonight. The other night, when I finished the concert the other night on Friday night, I went downstairs. I spent half an hour lying flat on my back on the floor, just trying to get all my joints and muscles and bits and pieces all back into order. What I could have done with would have been my 50-kilogram wife stamping all over me, sort of trying to push all my bits and pieces back into the right order. I've got all the right bones, just not necessarily in the right order. But she was already asleep, so that didn't work. So yes, but maybe one of these days I'll get her to stamp about on me a little bit. I'm in the mood not for, ladies and gentlemen, not for the Bye Bye Blues to finish off this evening's concert, and I'm also not in the mood to finish it in Düren. I'm going to quickly, this is the beauty of a very fast machine with Hauptwerk, I can swap organs in the, like that, not even 10 seconds, and we're already on a new organ. This is my theatre organ, my Wonder Morton theatre organ, and I think we're going to finish this evening's concert with a piece of music on this. This is from Clarence Williams, back in the day. A wonderful piece of music. It's summer season, which means everyone around the world is having garden parties. And no garden parties are more famous than the royal garden parties, hosted by the British royal family. Cheers to all of you. And, well, this piece of music has nothing to do with that. At least I don't think so. Well, you never know, actually. It was written in 1919. So that would have been George V in those days. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the Williams were invited to one of George V's garden parties and enjoyed some royal garden blues. Now, this is one of these pieces of music. Everyone thinks the blues is all about summertime. Everyone thinks that's blues, yeah? No. The blues can be fun as well. This piece of music, the Royal Garden Blues, is definitely one of those. It's a rip-roaring, fun kind of piece of music. This, then, well, let's dedicate it to George V, shall we? We'll dedicate it to George V for reasons unknown, but the Royal Garden Blues. To finish off this evening's concert. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for chipping in. Thank you for doing your things. And thank you for being the coolest Gartshore gang there is. Don't forget to check out our Start Next crowdfunding project to get my own... Oh, by the way, I'm working on getting a theatre organ sample set done as well. Yes. It's all happening. See you soon, folks. Bye.